right-wing groups have filed counter-appeals in the Supreme Court opposing the plea against the hate speeches at religious gatherings in Haridwar and Delhi that evoke public outrage across the country. Both organizations have instead appealed to the court to make them party to the case. And in the appeal, the Hindu SENA president, Vishnu Gupta, has demanded that Muslim leaders be arrested for their hate speeches instead. The statement by the religious leaders at the Dharam Sansad were responses to attacks on Hindu culture by non-Hindus and cannot be described as hate speech, their appeal contended. In their appeal, they have cited 25 instances of alleged hate speeches against Hindus and named leaders like ASADUDDin OWAISI. Let's go across to Sukirti now for more. And so, Sukirti, these two right-wing groups also want to be involved in this case and have put forward this counter plea. Right, Sukirti, if you could give us more details. And these two right-wing groups have put this counter plea before the Supreme Court.
Well, yes, there are two groups that have moved the Supreme Court. On one hand, there is the Hindu SENA national president who has approached the Supreme Court, and the other organization that has moved the Supreme Court is the Hindu Front for Justice. What they are trying to tell the Supreme Court, what their plea says, is that efforts are being made to scandalize the spiritual leaders of Hindus. And as you mentioned, they say that they were simply comments that were made in response to the attacks on Hindu culture. They do not count as hate speech. Instead, they cite these various instances of hate speeches that were made against Hindus. They said that if the court is going to analyze hate speeches against Muslims, then the court should also examine these hate speeches against Hindus by Muslim leaders. AIMIM head ASADUDDin OWAISI and many other Muslim leaders like Mr. WARIS PATHAN or Tawqi Raza should be arrested for the kind of speeches they have made. And there are at least 25 different instances that have been cited by them. So this is what their plea says. Now it remains to be seen whether they will be made party to this particular case. As far as earlier developments are concerned, when the Dharam Sansad hate speeches issue had come up in the Supreme Court, the top court had already issued notices to the centre, the Uttarakhand government, as well as the Delhi police, seeking their response on what is the action that is being taken with regard to the speeches that were made in Haridwar and Delhi. So, and as we've been reporting, there have been some arrests that have already been made. So, those notices were already issued. But when the next hearing of this case takes place, these two new appeals that have been filed with relation to this case, those will also be up for hearing.
All right, Sukirti, thanks so much for joining us with those details.